Perfectionism isn't the strength you think it is. It's a silent poison, slowly eating away at your progress, trapping you in an endless cycle of fear and doubt. What if the pursuit of flawlessness is the very thing that's holding you back from success? Stoic acceptance might be the radical shift you never knew you needed. Ready to let go of perfection and finally move forward? So start with our first one, which is the prison of perfection. Imagine this. A young professional, stressed and anxious, stays late into the night revising a single presentation. Every slide must be flawless, every word precise. Yet with each revision, doubt gnaws deeper. This fixation traps him, causing deadlines to slip, confidence to wane. He's chasing an ideal that can never be reached. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The presentation? It will never be perfect. His fixation blinds him to what truly matters. Progress, not perfection. This is the first prison of perfectionism. It makes us believe that every detail holds the key to success, when in reality, success comes from doing, not obsessing. The professional's fear of making mistakes freezes him, leading to the very failure he fears. Stoicism asks us to look past the need for flawless outcomes and instead focus on action. What we control is our effort and intention, not the outcome. The lesson here is clear. It's better to act with imperfection than to be paralyzed by unattainable standards. Finally, he sends the presentation. It isn't perfect, but it's done. And, surprisingly, the world doesn't collapse. The real revelation is that perfection was never the goal. Progress was. The prison bars of perfectionism dissolve the moment he takes action. Stoicism teaches us that waiting for perfection is a form of self-sabotage. The only true failure is not moving forward at all. Second, the weight of expectations. Picture a woman who meticulously organizes her life, down to the smallest detail. Her calendar is color-coded, every minute accounted for. But no matter how much she perfects her schedule, there's never enough time. She is driven by the need to meet every expectation, those of her family, her job, and herself. But expectations, like perfection, can be an unbearable weight. As Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. She is trying to control everything, but Stoicism reminds us that only some things are within our control. Our choices, our mindset, the expectations she strives to meet, most are not even her own. They're imposed by society, by others, and by the perfectionist in her mind. In trying to be perfect, she forgets to be present. The stress begins to take its toll: burnout, sleepless nights, constant dissatisfaction. Stoicism offers a different path. By accepting that she cannot meet every expectation, she can focus on what truly matters to her. Instead of trying to be perfect, she learns to prioritize, to say no, and to accept that some things will remain undone. And that's okay. The turning point comes when she decides to leave something unfinished. It feels like failure at first, but there's relief too, a weightlifting. She realizes that her worth isn't tied to how much she accomplishes or how perfectly she meets every demand. By letting go of those expectations, she can focus on what truly aligns with her values. The obstacle wasn't the expectations themselves, but the belief that she had to meet them all. Stoicism teaches that freedom comes from accepting what we can't control and focusing on what we can. Third, the fear of judgment. A man hesitates to share his artwork with the world. He spent years perfecting every stroke, refining each line. But every time he's ready to show it, the same fear surfaces. What will they think? The fear of judgment looms large, holding him back from expressing himself. He's paralyzed, unable to move forward, despite the work being complete. As Seneca once wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." The artwork isn't the problem. His fear is. Perfectionism, at its core, is often tied to the fear of judgment. The belief that if we're not perfect, we'll be rejected, ridiculed, or dismissed. But Stoicism teaches that others' opinions are beyond our control. What we can control is our courage to act. The man's art? It will never be free of flaws, but it's his. By holding back, he denies himself the chance to grow, to learn, to be seen. The irony of perfectionism is that in trying to avoid criticism, we stifle our own voice. In the end, he posts his artwork, heart racing. Some will like it, some won't. But the world doesn't end. What he gains is far more valuable. Freedom from the fear that once gripped him. By accepting that not everyone will approve, he liberates himself from the chains of judgment. The true victory lies not in perfection, but in the courage to act despite imperfection. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control others' opinions, but we can control our willingness to express our true selves. Fourth, the illusion of control. A young entrepreneur pours every ounce of energy into her startup, believing that if she works hard enough, controls every variable, success is guaranteed. But no matter how hard she pushes, things go wrong. Clients back out, tech failures happen, and deals fall through. She's crushed, convinced she didn't do enough. But here's the lesson. Control is an illusion. As Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. The outcome? Always beyond her grasp. What she can control is her response to failure, not the failure itself. Perfectionism convinces us that with enough effort, we can control everything. But Stoicism reminds us that much of life is dictated by chance, by forces outside our influence. The entrepreneur's mistake wasn't in working hard. It was in believing that effort alone could guarantee success. When she finally accepts that some things are simply outside her control, she shifts her focus from what went wrong to what she can learn from it. Her business may stumble, but she no longer sees failure as a reflection of her worth. The turning point comes when she stops obsessing over outcomes and starts embracing the process. Setbacks? They're inevitable, but instead of seeing them as failures, she views them as opportunities to adapt, to grow stronger. The illusion of control fades, replaced by the Stoic understanding that resilience, not perfection, leads to success. By letting go of what she cannot control, she gains the clarity and strength to persevere. Fifth, embracing imperfection. There's a craftsman who spends years perfecting his craft. Every piece must be flawless, every detail perfect. But in the pursuit of perfection, he never feels satisfied. Each creation, though beautiful, is never enough. One day, a piece breaks while still unfinished, and in frustration, he leaves the crack exposed. Something unexpected happens. People love it. The imperfection, once his deepest fear, becomes the very thing that makes the work unique. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This moment transforms the craftsman. He realizes that perfection wasn't the goal, it was authenticity. His work, like life, is imperfect by nature, and that's what makes it meaningful. Stoicism teaches us to embrace the cracks, the flaws, the things we can't control. In doing so, we find beauty not in flawlessness, but in truth. The craftsman's journey is a mirror for our own lives. We strive for perfection, believing it will bring fulfillment, but it's the imperfections, the human errors, the unexpected challenges that shape us. The crack in the pottery isn't a flaw. It's a story, a lesson, a mark of resilience. By embracing imperfection, we become more than perfect. We become real. Stoicism doesn't ask us to be flawless. It asks us to be human. And in that humanity, we find our true strength. Perfectionism is the true enemy, not a badge of honor. Through Stoic acceptance, we uncover a profound truth. It's not about achieving flawlessness, but about embracing the imperfect journey with resolve. As you let go of the impossible quest for perfection, you'll discover freedom in action and strength in acceptance. This shift isn't just liberating, it's transformative. Ready to explore more insights that can change your life? Dive deeper into our other videos for more strategies on living authentically and powerfully. If you found this valuable, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more life-changing content right here.